Welcome to Next Step Advanced Sketching Techniques. Today, students, we're going to learn how to sketch a photorealistic cruise ship out on the ocean, taking some people off on a long-awaited vacation. So let's get started, shall we? First thing we're going to do is do an upside-down inverted C. This is going to form the hull of our cruise ship. Next, we're going to do the superstructure. We're going to come up, we're going to make a rectangle, but we're not going to complete the bottom. Otherwise, we'd have some overlapping lines there. And cruise ships are going to have a ton of ports for people to look out of. So we're going to do a series of hexagons here in series, and this is for the folks to look out onto the vastness, expansiveness of the ocean. All right, now let's say this cruise ship goes into port. How's it going to stop? Well, a boat does not have brakes. Cruise ships do not have brakes. So what they do is they have an anchor, and anchors look very similar to the tattoos you've seen in those silly cartoons. They're going to have two triangles connected to two inverted U shapes that are missing the left side, and then there's going to be a chain linkage going to the master switch to lower the anchor. And we'll go ahead and draw this person, the chief shipmate. They wear a hat that's very similar to a chef's hat. They reach over here and they activate the switch. It's a cross between a cowboy hat and a chef's hat is the way I'd like to describe it. Now, ships have power. Cruise ships have power, not just little ships, but big ships. And all ships are going to have this big smokestack coming out. Now, it depends on the country whether. All right, we're going to continue here. So most boats are going to have smokestacks. They're burning coal, not coral, coal. And it's going to depend on the country of origin, what the flag is, but we'll just put a generic one here. All right, and then of course, for realistic smoke, you're going to want to make a series of connected S's, which are sideways and inverted. And then underneath that, the same thing, and then underneath that, the same thing. And then you're going to trail off with a single S, because as the smoke leaves, due to environmental disturbances, the smoke is going to start to dissipate. All right, so on a boat, you're going to have, especially a big boat, you're going to have safety rails. All right, we're going to go ahead and draw our safety rails. Now, most safety rails are going to be metal, so there's going to be a little bit of rust, so we're going to do a little bit of shading here. And we're going to continue our safety rail, and then we're going to stop it about right here, because, see, folks, especially the captain, the ship's mate, they're going to need to get from here to this side, so there's going to have to be a little opening here. Then we're going to continue that safety rail, and make sure that your lines are perpendicular to the horizon and symmetrical and evenly spaced. And that's one of the keys to making sure we maintain the photorealism as we move forward. Now, I've never seen a boat just hovering in the air, and I doubt you have either, so we're going to do an ocean. We're going to draw an ocean. Let's get started. I'm going to do a series of humps, because an ocean is not smooth like glass, but it's humpy and bumpy. And our boat's tugging along, but most boats are going to make a wake, and they're going to come out kind of at an angle. And this is going to make waves. Now, one thing I've noticed whenever I've seen cruise ships, say on the internet or in a magazine, is a lot of times there's going to be a jet skier kind of riding the wave. So this is one of the trickier things to kind of sketch here, a jet ski. I remember I first saw a jet ski in the Jaws movie, the famous Jaws movie. And this guy, maybe it's a girl or guy, hair, your hair's you want to make sure you honor physics and aerodynamics. So of course the hair is going to be blowing back, and they're just speeding along, and they're going to jump over here, and you can certainly draw an arrow to show the direction that the jet skier or wave runner is traversing in. All right, so no sky is going to be empty, as we've talked about in previous educational pieces. So we're going to go ahead and draw our sun. And then the sun's rays are going to come out like this, like so. And then we're also going to do maybe some puffy clouds here, and maybe a little low overhanging cloud. Now birds get tired swimming over the water, so they're probably going to be wanting to land here and get some of that good cruise ship food. So we're going to draw a series of birds. And most birds that are near the water are called seagulls. And make sure that you get the legs oriented right. The legs are going to be preparing to land, like this bird's going to be preparing to land. And birds of a feather fly together, as they say. So we're just going to do another one here, because maybe this is like best friend birds. And they're going to be landing here. Now, on a cruise ship, you're going to oftentimes have a swimming pool. So what I'm going to do here is build an upper deck. And this is kind of like the party area. And so this is not the pool. This is actually a cabana type thing, a cover. And then our swimming pool is going to be here. And there's going to be people in there, and a diving board for people to jump in. And now you can also try to pay attention to the weather. And so we've got the sun here, but maybe there's some, and this is where perspective comes in. Maybe this is the horizon kind of coming behind the boat, and then there we go. And we'll just add some more waves here, by the way, to kind of give depth. But maybe back here there's a bad, like an angry storm coming, and you can see some electrical stuff coming, some electrical noise. And this is why you need a sharpened pencil. We're going to draw some people looking out of the boat. Maybe this is a husband and wife, and then maybe here is the brother. And if they hear that lightning, they're going to be a little alarmed. So we can't paint emotion, we can't draw emotion, so we're just going to draw some alarm lines, is what I like to call them. All right, so on this part of the boat right here, boats have barnacles and seashells that kind of stick to them. So we're gonna add some of those to make this photorealistic, because without the photorealism, there's really no point in continuing such drawing. All right, lastly, what do we see in the boat? Well, a lot of times sharks and fish and even the smaller stuff like the algae and the plankton and amoeba, all sorts of animals are interested in this activity. This isn't something they normally see in the wild, this beautiful cruise ship. So they're going to be maybe some amoeba or plankton right here, or swimming up to take a look. And then you're going to get a treat today, folks. I'm going to draw an authentic looking dolphin, and maybe we can draw this dolphin getting ready to this dolphin. And dolphins have blowholes. They don't have mouths that we know of. That's how they get their that's how they convert oxygen to carbon dioxide. And this little guy, make sure you get the side fins, and then they also have a back fin. This little guy is headed this way to jump up and show off for the boat. And sometimes you'll see a baby dolphin. So we're going to do the exact same shape. We're just going to do a smaller scale. Scale, S-C-A-L-E. It's just a way to describe drawing the same dimensions in a smaller format. So here's baby dolphin and mother dolphin. And let's not forget about the great white. The great white shark is notoriously a man-eater. So, but even man-eaters, they say, are still curious about the boat, so they're going to be swimming. So this shark is actually looking upwards towards our cruise ship. And I think we're getting towards the end here. So now, hopefully you've been able to follow along today. If not, let me add one more thing. So one of the things that I've always hoped to see out at sea, now I've never been out at sea, but one of the things I hope to see if I'm ever out at sea, lucky enough to be on one of these cruising castles, is a message in a bottle. Let's make sure we get the scale right. So we're further away from the boat. So as we move towards the boat, we're going to kind of bend the side of the glass. And then, of course, it's going to have a note maybe from a king of Spain that was never reached by the king of England. And it said, I don't want to fight. I want a truce. And maybe with this note, there wouldn't have been a world or a world war. So there we go. There's a message in a bottle. We have dolphins. We have baby dolphin and shark. We have some smaller plant life. And then we have our cruise ship. So this is kind of the center of what we're talking about today. Let's go ahead and finish up. So you have 5 seconds to grab your outline markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So we're just going to, like I always say, we're not going to outline the entire sketching that we did today. We're just going to outline, because when you take a photograph, some things show up more than others, correct? Correct. So we're just going to kind of be selective. You ever mopped before and you've never mopped the whole story? Just called spot mopping. In fact, I was wanting, I didn't, but I was wanting to join a band right out of high school. I played the, you might have heard the recorder, famously heard on a lot of famous songs, and I wanted to join I wanted to make a band and call it Spot Mop, because that was one of the things I did when I got home from school, and a lot of the other folks were out drinking and consuming things and getting into trouble and some tomfoolery. I enjoyed spot mopping, helping my grandmother spot mop. So I wanted to start my band called Spot Mop and had a plan, at least pictured it in my mind, playing at the talent show and really overwhelming the students with spot mop. But I digest. Let's go back to our painting here. All right, so we've got the boat, we've got the, let's get our blowhole, and let's get our dolphin kind of. Who doesn't want to see a dolphin? They're beautiful fish. Now, one of the smartest fish, by the way, you can kind of just watch them and know that they're really smart creatures. I don't think they're as smart as the shark, because the shark's able to attack people and do it successfully. I don't think the dolphin are as successful. But here we go. And if you'd like to, go ahead and follow along with me. Today I'm going to use my yellow paint marker, my yellow coloring marker. This is probably my favorite, so we're just going to go ahead and color in the sun. And if you see anything else that you think would be yellow in the photograph, maybe the paper that they used to write this letter so long ago was on yellow paper, and you might have a little bit of yellow coming through the clouds. I think that's about it as far as the yellow, unless your country has yellow in the flag. But that is it, folks, and please do not give up. If you are unable to attain the professionalism and the level of detail seen here, it is taking me years and years and years to reach this level of sophistication. And I will say this: keep practicing, don't give up, and you will get there one day. All right, thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. You have been participating in Advanced Next Step Sketching.